We're doing it twice.
We're doing it.
It was so good we had to do it twice.
Hello, my friend. Zachary is here from Ascendant Retreat.
Bali,
We're
yeah.
Ascendant Bali.
Yes.
What a beautiful name, Ascendant Bali.
I know. I'm really, you know how sometimes you're busy trying to think of a name that really embodies, that one just came to me.
Just came to
And
you,
then it
but
was
those are the
instant,
best
like,
ones.
yeah, it was not, I didn't feel like I needed to go through so many different options. It was download, done.
Done. So tell us more about Ascendant Bali. What do you do at your beautiful place? Where is it? In Sese, yeah.
Let me know how close I need to be.
That's good. That's
Is
good.
that good?
Yeah.
Just in case. So we're based in Sese, and what we do basically is imagine a 360-degree view at you as a person when you present with a mental health issue, let's say, for example, whether it's depression, anxiety, stress, anything from like complex PTSD to like burnout. And when you have tried everything and the traditional model keeps letting you down, when you feel like there's no one that truly understands what is going on for you, I've designed a program with myself and the medical model, but also the holistic tools and strategies that we have at our disposal, putting it all together in a one-stop shop. Because I believe that you don't have to keep going all over the place and work in silos in order to get mental health support, and nobody talks to each other at all. So the difference that we try to make to the community is that you can come in at a one-stop shop and we'll be able to understand what's going on for you and how we can heal you, not only from a psychological, not that we heal you, you're the one doing the healing.
Yes.
How we can support you not only from psychological, but physical, emotional, energetic, medical, naturopathic, and so
It's that 360 approach, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because mental health isn't just about mental health.
It's a mind-body connection and the spirit. So it's all encompasses holistic approach to everything. I love it. So and what's very unique about Ascendant Retreat is that you use specific biomarkers and you use neurofeedback, which is one of my favorite biomarkers. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. I think what I noticed, there was a gap in Bali where the majority of addiction rehabilitation centres or mental health recovery centres were getting people in 28 days, 21 days, and kind of just locking them away. Maybe they'll get therapy 3 hours a week, maybe they'll get a little bit more than that, a bit of yoga here and there. And what was missing was evidence-based, research-driven modalities that we know work. Neurofeedback is one of them.
Which give you basically the live data of how your programs and protocols are improving one's health.
Exactly, because we can have a look at what's underneath your skin. We can have a chat to your brain, literally.
Underneath the hood of the skin, literally, yeah.
We can go in there and go, let's have a chat. And then the conversation really isn't between me and their brain, it's between the client and their brain, because you get a window into your brain and you're able to see how it's functioning. And then we create a protocol for you that allows the brain to improve its functioning.
Yeah, it's fascinating for those like neurofeedback virgins, as I call them. It's really fascinating when you understand, like in psychotherapy, in IFS model, for example, when you discover that there are multiple parts of our personalities and you all of a sudden speak to these parts, or in neurofeedback where you get the feedback as a sound or any kind of signal that states, oh, well, you're feeling calm, or your mind is feeling really scattered.
Mind is operating in the level that we want it to operate at.
Yeah, so, and then you get it in instant response.
Yeah.
For me, when I first tried it, it was going to the brain gym for the first time. And then this is like the closest I can get to. And what that brings to the people, and that's why I value your work so much, is just whole new awareness and perception of how we can get more in tune with our bodies, with the senses that we're not even able to imagine exist. And they're somehow buried underneath. These senses are present, but we get to develop them through these brain gym activities or to going through your beautiful retreats and programs. And I feel you mentioned as PTSD, severe and complex disorders. You mentioned anxiety, burnout, and burnout is so huge. That brought me to my wellness and longevity journey, just really burning out. And this is such a big problem in the world. A lot of people going. So,
do you know what's interesting about burnout is that because a lot of my clients are high functioning, high performing males who don't yet know or don't have the insight or awareness that they're experiencing something more complex. They call it burnout. So they're almost the entry into receiving the right support is people just acknowledge I'm a bit stressed and I'm a bit burnt out. But they come in through our doors and we can scan their brain and show them how their brain is operating. We can give them some psychoeducation about where they're at. And then the pieces of the puzzle click. And it's like, it's actually a lot more than that. I've been
so much more, so much deeper. The source is that the root is way deeper. But
experiences, this awful relationship that I had that was for 5 years, and I didn't know that I lost myself through it, and so on and so forth. This job that is absolutely sucking the life out of me, but I've given it everything. And so when it stacks up, you start to see that it's a lot more complex than that. And so they can honor themselves and be more compassionate instead of just going, come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
It's willpower. Let's go.
Yeah, another thing that I really admire about your work, and then I've seen this in the psychotherapy, a lot of people go into this shadow work, into going into these, traumas when we were plausible, when we were in those childhood years, 2 to 9 mostly. And then people stay in those and they dwell in the darkness, right? But what I like about your approach is that you bring people back to this, where you create neurocircuitry, where you induce this neuroplasticity, where your patients are developing new wiring new synapses. They're more creative, so you put them in the programs with yoga, with activity, with like art therapy and various different modalities. They're just like, I feel they're so crucial to train the brain to do something else. Instead of going through that old loop patterns, because eventually what I've noticed in the burnout, I went back, I took a bunch of IVs, I did everything possible, I spent so much money, and I came back a bit, but then I hit the wall again. And it was even worse because I wasn't treating the root cause, right?
Exactly. And I always like to liken a lot of what's out there. It's like you're mowing the lawn and there's all these weeds. You're just mowing and you're removing the top. But the weeds are still there, they grow back. And it's like, actually, we need to go in and we need to do some gardening. And we need to remove those weeds, de-weed your garden, and be able to address the root cause, because I think you're spot on. And to do that, sometimes we have to go to the past and figure out how the past is impacting you in the now. And then we also need to look at the future. What do you want? What kind of life do you want? And then what kind of brain and mind and psychology and body is conducive to the life that you want? And then how can we create a protocol or a pathway for you to actually get there? And that's what my team of almost 7 clinicians who work with one person do. We all sit together, we collaborate, we talk to each other every day. There are pieces of the puzzle that we support in connecting. And this constant communication of where the client is at, and then relaying it back to them for feedback just keeps the whole thing moving wonderfully.
It's amazing. Beautiful metaphor. And talking about beauty, you are just about to join the panel called Beauty from Within on the main stage here at Bali Wellness and Beauty Expo. So I just want to say thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for coming and accepting the call to speak and to come to join us here. I really appreciate you and keep doing the great work. And just lastly, do you have anything to say where people can find you and your work?
exactly. It's easy to find us on social media. It's Ascendant _Bali on Instagram. Our website is ascendantretreats.com, soon to be rebranded as ascendantbali.com. So keep that in mind. And I just want to say thank you because if it weren't for you, I genuinely wouldn't be at this expo right now. It's the call that came from you that was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And I love everything that you said about Ascendant and what we stand for. So yeah, really appreciate it.
Keep doing a great job.